All right, what's up, everybody? We are back tonight. It's pretty late, actually. It's like 7 o'clock, but I wanted to get to work on this. Tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm not going to have time to really touch this a whole lot, so I wanted to get with Jackson tonight and see what we could get done. This is the subframe. Came out, looks actually pretty good. There's rust spots and stuff, but we're going to wire wheel those off and see how we can get it and repaint the whole thing. So tonight, we're going to focus on getting this a little bit more clean. We're going to try to get these out. We'll see how that goes. We'll probably have to burn them. He's going to try to press them out with this little interesting press. What is that, Jackson?
Yeah, it's a ball bearing.
Ball bearing. Yeah, that's what it is. So we're going to try to get them out with that. We'll see how it goes, but I have these nice new bushings that I got from Drift HQ. They came with these little metal plates for replacements. These are the old ones. The new ones I already throw on the bolts. So I'll be pressing these in at work, most likely, but we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it goes pretty well. Okay, so we've got, you kind of put this little, it's almost like a socket, but like a cylinder on the other side, so you can push it from the bottom, and then the bushing will come out through here. So we'll hopefully be able to get this out. But I've got a little bit of hope, but not a whole lot of hope. We got our nice little torch out.
See, already kind of.
Yeah, it's trying to come out. These things are super hard to get out. Usually you just have to melt them all the way. We have moved the party outside because as much as I love working in the garage at nighttime, I'm sure my girlfriend really doesn't appreciate how loud it is and how smelly this thing's probably going to be once we have to burn everything out. So I'm going to bring it out here. There's a little bit of oil where the diff mounts, so we're going to kind of work with that. The 3/8 drive was not doing the best getting that bushing out, so probably just going to have to burn them all out, which is easier, honestly. I say that it's easier said than done, but this thing's I think it's going to look pretty good. I'm not too worried about this little like surface rust and stuff that you get in here because we can wire wheel that stuff off. But for now, I'm going to set this up, and hopefully the next time I clip, we'll have one of these out. If not, you'll see me washing it, but we shall see how this goes. All right, so we have hit the point where we're just trying to melt it out. So we're gonna test it on this one and see how it goes. I think this is probably one of the easiest ways to do it. There's guys that have shown on YouTube pressing it out with a jack, doing all that sorts of stuff, but we just kind of skipped all that. We're gonna go resort to this because I've heard this works pretty well. So we're gonna hold this torch on there for a little bit and hopefully she'll pop out or melt out and fall out because it can't really be stuck if it's liquid, so we'll see how it goes. All right, we just ran to the parts store, got a new tip for the torch. She's actually ripping pretty good. I also picked up a valve cover gasket because mine's 21 years old and it's real chunky and bad and leaking everywhere. So I picked up a new valve cover gasket, got an axle nut. So hopefully we can hammer these boys out. This torch is gonna do way better than the old one was, I'm sure you can tell. It smells like burned rubber out here, but they should just pop right out here in a couple minutes. I saw Hans Garage on YouTube popped them out in like 15 minutes, which I think is a scam, but we're gonna give her a shot.
Yeah, baby.
All right, with a little bit of flame and a little bit of love and tap in, she popped out. So 1 down, 4 to go, and then we'll clean these bad boys out and get her all nice and wire wheeled. But that right there, that's progress. That's what we like to see. So seems like we're not going to be out here all night like we thought it was, but I'm just getting a face full of burnt rubber right now. So we're going to hop to the other ones. Should be the same process of just lighting them on fire for a little bit, and hopefully they just pop out. That's what it seems like they're going to do, so that's pretty sweet. Oh, yeah. There you go. That's how you do it professionally.
It rolled over your foot.
And just like that, all 4 are out. You can't really see that one. I'll pick her up. All 4 of them, all out. So we've got these nice little rubber guys here just for comparison. Old rubber bushing that's been in there forever and is kind of melted now compared to the new bushings, the 90SH bushings that will be going in there. These are a lot easier to put in because, see, you can take them apart and then they just kind of press in compared to these guys where you have to push the whole thing in. So should be pretty sweet. I've got all 4, 2 there, 2 here, and then I actually just picked up this new valve cover gasket. So should be pretty sweet. We're going to do the valve cover gasket a different time, but now we're going to power wash the subframe and send her in. All right, so now that it smells like we've been drifting out here for about 3 hours, we are going to power wash this bad boy. I'm not going to record this part because I feel like in the last time we power washed in the last video, you guys saw plenty of that and how power washing is just boring to watch. So we're going to go ahead and power wash her, soak her down with some of that all-purpose spray that we use on literally everything, hopefully to get some of this grease, because you can see, oh, you can't even tell because it won't come off. Well, this is all over my shoes. So all that'll come off, and then we will spend probably the rest of the night wire wheeling this thing. I've thought about getting diff bushings. From what I've seen online, it's not necessary. And with me trying to do a whole budget thing, I'm just going to leave the stock diff bushings in there and hope that they last. But if they do fail on me, I'll replace them then. I'm just trying to go for functional, lower it, drift it. Nothing crazy. It's not going to be a pro build. Maybe one day if I'm like the best in the world, but probably never going to be a pro build, so we'll see how this goes. So after scrubbing her down a little bit and then just hitting her with a power washer, it looks 100 times better. So still have rust in these little pockets here, a little bit of rust right here. So we're going to hit this thing with a wire wheel pretty well, and hopefully the ending looks a lot better than this, because then we'll just have to paint it and it'll be easy. So we're going to hop to that. All right, so we're at a good stopping point for tonight. We started with the wire wheeling, and it actually, a lot of this rust, we're gonna have to, I think we might have to get some stronger brushes, because that or these guys are dying pretty quick. Could be a combination of both, but this was pretty much orange when we started, kind of like that there. So it's all coming out pretty well.
She's looking a lot better.
So we're gonna have a couple, probably another night or two of just wire wheeling this before we get to the point where we can paint it all and set it all up, and it'll look really, really good. But she's coming along a lot better. We made a lot more progress tonight than I thought we were gonna. So I'm not mad about this at all. So we're gonna pick up another day when we are back on this and actually able to do it. Not gonna show any of the wire wheeling because it's gonna be a long, tedious process. And then we're just gonna paint it afterwards. So hopefully the next time you guys see the subframe, it will be nice and clean. What's going on, guys? We are back today. Like a kind of a part 2 for this video. We are currently painting the subframe, which I'm going to do like a TikTok or an Instagram short. And I said I was going to keep this a secret, but I just think it looks too good and I'm really excited about it. So this is most likely the color I will be wrapping the car. So we painted the rear diff in that same color, and I think it looks sick. So really excited to see what this thing's going to look like. But this is the Ford, I don't even know how to pronounce it, Ford Red from the early 2000s. They put it on like the Super Duties and stuff. Okay, so since we were thinking about, or we are going to be welding on the bottom of the chassis on this vehicle, we're going to pull the rear interior out because we're worried about any flames or anything starting in here and then lighting the whole inside of the car on fire. Now, don't think it's gonna be too big of an issue, but I'd rather be safe because I've got a lot of time in this car so far and I'd really hate to see it go to waste in a flame. So we're gonna get to work on ripping this out now that we have everything else painted. We're waiting for it to dry and we're kind of bored. So I'm gonna have to look up a video because I have zero clue. I've never taken the interior out of a vehicle, and I'm assuming we're gonna have to do the trunk as well. But yeah, dude, this thing's a little crusty back here, but that's all right. So
ASMR right here.
oh yeah, yeah, that hasn't moved in years. So I'm actually thinking, I wonder if I can swap those out because my front seatbelt thing is just destroyed. So we're gonna get to work on this. I'm gonna have to look up a video and then we will kind of skip through it. I'm not gonna do intensive videoing here because it's gonna be a long drawn out process. So let's see where we can get. All right, we got the rear seat out. There's a clip on each corner. One there, one there, one there, one there. And it's got this rubber stuff on the bottom and it's so old you can literally just, and it just breaks. So not too mad. I'm taking this out, get some of that crap taken out. We've got the rear trunk. We're getting there. This guy just pops out really easy. So got a little bit of metal to remove back here just to clear up some extra space. But we are now working on getting this rear seat undone. Man, look how nice that looks. Old crusty rubber. So gonna have to get the vacuum in here and get some of this crap out. But it's coming out pretty good. Oh yeah.
Pen.
Nice pen cap. So she's coming along.
Making money on it already.
Oh yeah, I got some. Oh yeah, a little dime. You're my dime.
Oh.
So now we got to figure out how to pop these rear seats down. All right, so got the bolsters out, seats are out. See our lovely little fuel pumps there. Got all the anchors removed. All these gross little anchors, seat belts, all that fun stuff. So now we got to figure out how to get these seats down. And I feel like it's something really easy that we're both just not paying attention to, but you know, we're gonna figure that out. So the reason we're taking these out is because we are trying to get all this carpet out of back here. Because as much as I want this thing to look like a street car, I don't really care about carpet in the rear because it's just gonna hold a bunch of smoke smell, and I don't want that. So we're gonna figure out how to get these guys undone back here. I'm trying to see if there's a way to do it, but it doesn't look like it. So hopefully we'll be able to figure this out. All right, so after about 5 minutes of being an idiot, I came back here. Check that out. Both sides, so now they're both down. Should be fairly easy to get out. There's a bolt there, here on this side, and then here on that side, and then these guys should just come right out. So super excited about that. All right, so everything's out. I'm gonna leave those back seats in because I wanna put the interior back into it once everything's all said and done. Because like I said, I want this to be a drift car, but I want it to look like a street car. So I'm going to remove this because it seems like a lot of wasted space if I ever do need to put anything back here. Obviously that's gonna stay because I want my radio, but this just seems like a waste of space. So nice to see that. A rear mounted battery is super sweet. Don't have to worry about doing that. But everything else is pretty nice. Down here, we're gonna plug up these holes with something eventually, just because it's a hole straight. I don't know if you can see in there, but it goes just straight to the outside of the vehicle. And if I am to the point where I'm drifting this thing, and I don't want it to be all smoky in here. So we're gonna do that, not today, but at some point. But this will be a good stopping point so that everything's out of it and it doesn't catch on fire. But we're just gonna rip this guy out. Don't need to video that. This stuff's done drying now and it looks awesome. Especially, man, I can't get over how good this thing looks. Nice and sparkly. So when my car is this color, it's gonna look even cooler. But this thing's really coming along. We've got the whole rear interior other than the back seats ripped out. A lot of that gross rubber that's gonna cause me a lot of just grossness in the future is gone. We'll probably just get in here and just kind of sand some of this stuff down, but we'll see. So she is definitely coming along. So next time you see, we will have the rear bushings that are right here. The subframe bushings, we will have these mounted up in there and she will be ready to go back in the car. And we'll pretty much be getting to the point where we're just making this thing a roller to get it over to the welding shop. So we're getting there. This is now done being painted and the bushings are in. Not gonna say they were the easiest things in the world to get in, but they are done. So those are done. This guy's looking really good with the black bolts. So I'm really excited the progress we made today. It was easy-ish work. Didn't take too long. Everything looks a lot better. So now really the next steps that all we have to do is I want to clean off those control arms a little bit, but then we can just kind of start getting everything put back into the car and making this a roller. So rear interior looks a little different. It's all just kind of piled up in here, but everything's out other than these guys. So she's ready to rock. This thing is ready to go. So it's really coming along. We're getting there and we're just about finished up. So I'm super excited. So we're going to hop to the next video, which will hopefully be getting everything put back together on this car. And then we'll kind of be able to get her all welded up and thrown out on the road and start to get her on the track. So thank you guys for checking everything out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this video was long enough for everything to kind of make sense. But if you really enjoy the content, like every video for me, comment if you can, and let me know what I can do better, and then subscribe because there's always more coming. So appreciate y'all. Thanks. See ya.